I want to talk about activism and how I see activism and how I try to do it, and what does it mean to you? Um, this is specifically for anybody who considers himself an activist, and so my life is, and at one point in time, I was in a mental hospital, and the one therapist, she was so awesome. And she said, I don't know why I keep saying, that's like the new trend word is phrase. Anyway, she was saying that I have a very unique way of speaking, because she said that I have a very biting way of speaking where I can really go for a heartstring, but then like really reel it in with some sort of soft edge. And she was saying if I could just refine that over time. So that's one thing I've been working on. Another thing that she said is, it's whenever I see something that is unjust, it doesn't matter who it is involved. If it's something that just isn't right, I can't shut up about it. Like, I just can't. It bothers me. Like, it's just like something inside me. It's just like, this isn't right. Why aren't we talking about this? Why aren't we talking about this? And it like broods in me. And those are two things that I like about myself. I like that when I see something that's not right, it bothers me, and I can't shut up about it. And I really started to work on nurturing that in me, and refining the way that I try to approach people over time. So I used to do the whole entire social justice warrior, let's argue online thing, and I realized that that was not very helpful for being a positive influence. So I started to like deactivate my social media when I would get upset, and then I would activate it and just post positive things. And I was like, that was how I was gonna try to do some form of activism. But then I hit this point, and this is important to listen to, because this is gonna talk about social media addiction for a hot second. Hell yeah, someone around here getting real patriotic. They just played Reveille. Oh, that's cool. So anyway, so I was realizing that, I was trying to post positive things, and then I was realizing that this one time I was getting upset, and I was going to post, and I'm like, wait a second. You're gonna go post that you're upset about something, even though you're trying really hard to not. Then you're just gonna obsessively look at that thing to see if anybody gave it a thumbs up, and if they said anything, it's gonna be the same people that it's always been, and it's pointless. You're just training your brain to go and be upset and ruminate about the thing over and over and over and over again. And it's like social media conditioning. So I realized at that point, I was also working really hard on therapy stuff. And the notion was, if you can't help yourself, you can't help anyone. So that's why I deleted everything. And I'm gonna say that sentiment to anyone now listening to this. If you are in a whirlwind inside your head, social media is one of the worst things you can possibly doing for your mental well-being right now. Delete it all. If you really want to chill your brain out and stop living on this super hype platform that everyone is, because oh my gosh, I came here and it's on another level. Delete it all, and just leave. But anyway, so kind of like a lag period of time where I just worked. I mean, my activism was I was transitioning in a kind of red rural area, and just going to the store and just tolerating all the things as best as I could, and working on refining my behavior when I acted a fool. That was my way of being an activist, trying to show people that, hey, there's normal people out here. Like, I'm normal. Like, I'm weird because I'm like out there, but like, I'm normal, So I work in an HR space, working with a lot of stuff dealing um, with everything, like your name, sensitive things like that, and coming down to where you track someone's legal name, preferred name, gender, all those things. In old computer systems, those things didn't exist. It fundamentally wasn't there. Um, so over the years, I've been working to do things it, to push the notion of like, well, what if we do have the ability to do this? One of our HR systems that we used to use before I actually converted to this new one was starting to offer an other as one of their data types. But I had to go and I was working on doing analysis of how we could convert our systems to allow non-binary data type to come across. Fast forward to the project that we've worked on recently where we converted all of our systems to a new major vendor. Configuration options and setting this up, you having preferred name and non-binary and all those other things, those are like a bells and whistles. And because these people that I've worked with throughout an extensive period of time have seen me grow, have seen me refine myself, have seen me really step into myself and not just continue to perpetuate temper tantrums, essentially. There was a very strong sense of understanding that people like us, trans people, we're, we are valid. Then as we had planning meetings, like, I can't even begin to tell you how painfully, mind-numbingly boring it is listening to, like, being on a required call. There's like 40 people and it's mainly 4 people talking the entire time and you can't leave. You have to be there and you have to be taking notes and you have to do side conversations. And the whole reason I was making sure I sat in those meetings was to make sure that I understood all the ins and outs and made sure that we were going to be getting our gender neutrality option and preferred name down to our systems and starting to plan which systems would need preferred versus legal. Because, for example, background screenings, you need to have legal. And now fast forward to now, where I'm on this platform throwing out as many rips as I can, posting on my YouTube, throwing out as many rips as I can. This is what advocacy looks like to me. Having side conversations with people, putting yourself out there, putting yourself in situations where someone's probably going to say something messed up to you, and taking that slap on the face and being like, okay. And because the thing is a verbal slap on the face is better than a punch in the face. Just saying. But look, if your advocacy work doesn't in some way produce something positive, something tangible that you can see, and it doesn't need to be right now, but you need to have some sort of goal in mind for what you're going for. If your advocacy work isn't that, if it's trolling people online and just like, I don't know, just trying to be the biggest clout gainer online, you're really not doing advocacy work. I'm sorry. But like, I don't know, you need to be having difficult discussions. You need to be building bridges, because the one thing I heard that was important to me is if you are LGBTQ, it's your responsibility to make it better for the generation below you. And that's something that I've worked on. Very difficult, hard, whatever. But y'all need to understand the work that we've been doing and the damage that's happening now, and start actually doing real advocacy work.